Welcome back to Just Chattin', and this is the series of videos we do on Thursday and Sunday evenings just for our own entertainment. So let's start with, for all you Audie fans, he is sitting in the front window. He's actually being a very good boy. He had a traumatic experience, was it 2 days ago, as I was reviewing the trailer for Nutmeg's cooking show. I was careless, accidentally pulled out the cord for the earphones. I had remembered to put them in because I know how much he hates her voice. I pull them out and suddenly she starts laughing, and the cat took off, ran into the kitchen, and hopped up on top of the refrigerator, presumably to get away from the sound. So, unfortunately, I didn't catch the whole thing until I got in there and tried to coax him down, but I do have a couple of photos of me coaxing Audie off the refrigerator where he fled in fear of Nutmeg's laugh. So here you go. My apologies for the photos. It's very hard to coax and photograph at the same time. But yeah, I wish I could do it, but unfortunately, I listened to the whole thing. All right, yellow for Catherine, for Lex's mom, for everyone whose life has been impacted by cancer. We are wishing you all the very, very best. When we come back after the intro, we are going to take a look at a couple of items that came up in the news, and then we are going to have a chance to just sit back and lap up some backlash, because what I have done is I have grabbed the top 25 comments on the Netflix YouTube channel. So these are the opinions of everybody. It's folks like you and me, folks in the prairies of the United States, the hills of the UK, the outback in Australia. Everybody's just random opinions. And I thought we would just look at the best of them, because I know many of you are curious about this, but a lot of you are intentionally boycotting the Netflix YouTube channel. I totally get that. So we're just going to hit the high points. We'll be back in 22 seconds. So the first story that cropped up in the news is a sad one, and I do feel sorry for Nutmeg. It was about the death of her dog, Guy. I truly believe that in as far as that woman is capable of caring for any living thing, she cares for her dogs. And why not? A dog is an egomaniac's best friend, because they love you, they worship you as a deity, they are glad to see you coming, they're sorry to see you go, but they never argue with you, they never criticize you, they treat you like you are God's gift, no matter what you do. And heaven knows her attachment to this dog is certainly not what most of us would consider to be a reasonable attachment of affection. The dog's been left by himself for long periods of time. I still have no idea what on earth resulted in that poor dog ending up with 2 broken legs. Terrifying thought, but to be honest with you, at the very least, it was a faulty degree of inattention. So what can I tell you about that? I'm sorry the dog has passed. And again, I do believe that in as far as Nutmeg is capable of feeling whatever it is that in her mind passes for love and affection, she did feel that for the dog. And I know that the loss of a pet is a serious misfortune. I feel bad for her. Why this is front page news is absolutely beyond me, but I can't comment on that. The other one that has cropped up for some reason, and I really have no idea what triggered this, although it's possible that in some convoluted turn of events, Justin Trudeau resigning as president of our premier of Canada. And there is that Trudeau Mulroney nutmeg connection. Maybe that's what prompted this. But her relationship with Jessica Mulroney is back in the news. And to the best of my knowledge, there has been absolutely zero relationship in many years, going back to what their falling out was, I believe, 2020 at the height of the Black Lives Movement. And I did a video about that. I'll link it. But that is old news. I for the life of me, cannot understand why that has rocketed its way back before our attention, demanding our notice. But there it is, just another one of the many people nutmeg has markled. At this point, it's not newsworthy. It's just, Tuesday morning. What, she dumped somebody else? Please. So, having gotten those two news stories out of the way, let's take a quick look at what we have from brand expert Eric Schiffer. And this was quoted in a Fox News article. All the articles are cited in the video notes, as always. Brand expert Eric Schiffer told Fox News Digital that Markle's latest television stint, referring, of course, to the cooking show, was a, quote, recipe for ratings disaster. It feels painfully forced, Schiffer said. Quote, I think it's proof that not all royals are entertaining. Just looking at it, is this Netflix or the Montecito Home Shopping Network? And I thought I would share that one with you because it was just too delightful to pass up. So, let's go to the main story we're dealing with, which is the Netflix trailer YouTube video comments. And let me just quickly mention that the number in parentheses following each of the comments is the number of likes that particular comment received. I took the top 25. Right, wrong, or otherwise, I was perfectly prepared to simply take the good with the bad with the indifferent. So, let's start with Twisted Metal Official. A lot was ripped off of Pamela Anderson. The ladybugs were ripped off of one of her ex-boyfriends. The Ice Cube idea was in Pippa Middleton's cookbook. Some of the mannerisms are from Jamie Oliver. The beekeeping and running on the beach bit was done by Princess Catherine. The taking something ordinary and elevating it, quote, was ripped off from Samuel Mockbee. Diana used to sign her letters, with love, Diana. Nothing about this is an original concept and is frankly quite creepy. Wow. And obviously that is a mouthful. And this particular quote really got to the heart of the fact that the entire show is entirely derivative. And we see that, we don't need anything beyond the trailer to see that. Entirely derivative. And I think in many ways that's something that a lot of the professional commentators have missed. So good for you, Twisted Metal Official. There were, by the way, 415 likes on this comment. Next up, Shannon S. 5959. The words "everyone's invited" coming from Meghan Markle is probably the most ridiculous thing I have heard. And this one had 3,700 likes. This is a common theme throughout these comments. A lot of people are commenting on the fact that Nutmeg is attempting to ooze peace and love and goodwill to mankind. And it's just not ringing true. People are just not buying it. And they are not buying it with a vengeance. Next up, Smarten Up 100. She crapped all over the royal family and the British public, then bakes a classic British Victoria sponge cake on her undeserved cookery show. Can't make this stuff up. 618, and that's the number of likes. So, yeah, nothing you can say about that. Smarten Up 100 pretty much said it all. Cool Cat 5478. Thank you, Netflix, for supporting freedom of speech. Don't turn the comments off. And this one received 492 likes. And yes, apparently Nutmeg did attempt to bully, wheedle, cajole, and cry Netflix into turning off the comments on this particular video. Certainly when she discovered that the likes were outnumbered by the dislikes to an extraordinary degree. That alone had to be a major source of humiliation for her, because millions of people have watched this trailer on YouTube, meaning millions of people have seen the reaction people are giving this trailer. Next up, Julia Turpin 7307. Netflix, the comments are inspirational. The only thing I've watched. Forget the trailer. And that received 352 likes. And yes, that is another common theme we will be seeing, that people are in love with the comments section. They're not even bothering with the trailer. So next up, Zaltbommel Airways. This comment section is very authentic. It really gives the people a voice. 171 likes. Now, that's one of the reasons I really wanted to put these comments out there, because this is the authentic voice of the real public. These are the people with whom she is trying in vain to connect. So, yeah, what we're seeing is how miserably she is failing. The fact is, people just don't like her. And when you give them an opportunity to express that, they're going to take it. Next up, Sarah Stenbeek, 2646. Introducing Meghan Markle's newest project, Pitfalls and Downfalls of Social Climbing, the Memoirs of a Narcissist, a masterclass in burning bridges, alienating allies, and rewriting your own history, one Netflix special at a time. 464 likes. I have to admit, I liked this one particularly because it is so very well thought out and so beautifully articulated. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. Next up, Brizelbird, possibly Brizelbird. I'm going to go with Brizelbird. Netflix, you have hours of real footage of how this woman treats people. Now that show would be a hit for sure. 100 likes on that. And yes, bringing up a very good point, Netflix has all of the outtakes from all of the work that she has done for them. And yeah, we'd love to see that, because in fact, the outtakes are probably a lot more entertaining than this incredibly structured and curated version of Nutmeg that she is delighted to put out before us. So yeah, good show idea. Next up, Mavis Hampton. Came here for the comments, and they do not disappoint. Netflix and can fire people, hire people, change the format, they can add exciting guests, etc., but I will never watch it. I dislike for all the hateful things she has done to her family, friends, employees, and to the royal family. She is not a nice person, as evidenced by her actions. And that's 817 likes on this one. And yeah, so we have actually been making headway in getting the word out that Nutmeg's highly curated image that she presents to the world is not the reality. The reality is the impact of her behavior, and that's out there for the whole world to see. Next up, Lorraine Brooke 904. Thanks, Netflix, for keeping these fabulous comments open. is an utter disgrace. 661 likes. And yeah, as I said, there are plenty of comments like this throughout that entire video, because I grabbed the top 25 for you, but I read many more than that, and so many of them are lauding Netflix for not closing the comment section. Next up, Clark McCarthy, 5319. Everyone's invited, except my dad, my sister, my brother, my nieces and nephews, aunts and uncles, and oh yeah, my husband's entire family as well. 773 likes. So yeah, this again goes back to what I said about an earlier comment. This whole impression she is trying to give to the general public of Nutmeg being this all-embracing mother goddess is just not landing well. Next up, Indiana Flynn. Had to come and see what the hype was about, having spent near 3 hours reading near 30,000 comments. I can say this was an excellent use of free time. Appreciate no one that left a comment will likely read this, but bravo anyway. Dare say it's more entertaining than the show the comments are aimed at. 235 likes. Well, when I seized these comments that I'm giving you, it was more along the lines of 45,000 comments. And so I can only assume that Indiana Flynn might have missed some of the juicy ones. But yes, everyone is appreciating the comment section. Next up, Peter Redmond, 7670. As an Englishman living in the county of Sussex, how on earth does this woman still retain the title of the Duchess of Sussex? Unfortunately, this woman is an embarrassment. I like most people on here and find Netflix poor for commissioning this show, which looks poor and will be a failure like everything else this woman touches, including her husband. This one got over 2,700 likes. And yes, this is a whole new issue that's been brought into the comments. Well, it's not new to us, but it's new to the topic, because the trailer was about a cooking show, and Peter Redmond is talking about the removal of the titles. And a lot of people have been agitating for that. And many more have simply been wishing for it quietly in the privacy of their own homes. But yeah, it is a problem, and I feel truly bad for the people of Sussex because the name of their county is inextricably linked to this woman now. And that's got to be an embarrassment. Peter Redmond, for you and everyone in your county, you do have my sympathy. Next up, Sam D. 1571. Just imagine having a comment section that's more entertaining than the crap you're promoting. Okay, over 3,300 likes on this one. And yes, it is true. Again, common thread, the comment section is more engaging than the trailer. Sea River, 396. Meghan, what do you want from us? Leave us alone. We value our privacy. Stop the madness. And that got 1,300 plus likes. So, yeah. And I don't blame people for rubbing her nose in it. She's always talking about how much she and the sock puppet want privacy, and they want it for their children, and they want it for their dogs. And she is constantly thrusting herself in front of our face. So, yeah, they want privacy when they want privacy. And when they want their pictures on the front page, they want their pictures on the front page. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all have everything in life exactly the way we want it? Next up, Kenxio. Me and my sister queued up for hours to watch her wedding. We didn't care that it was going to cost the taxpayer $40 million or whatever it was. We cheered. We loved her. Everyone danced and celebrated. The papers had great headlines: Markle, Sparkle, Wedding, and so on. She then trashed us all and said we didn't welcome her, and that she hated the wedding and had already gotten married earlier, which the Archbishop said was a lie. Thanks. 298 likes. And yeah, we can't forget that Nutmeg not only trashed her family and the royal family and everybody else that's ever come into her way, but she trashed all of the people of the UK. Everyone, without regard. It didn't matter if they were young, old, male, female. She just trashed the entire country. They were all so mean to her. They were all so unaccepting. They were all so racist. And yeah, I think we know that's an absolute fabrication. And I'm very glad that this is someone who actually decided to give the opinion of just some average person on the street. So, thank you, Kenxio. Next up, Kerry Oxlade, 4517. I pray South Park will do an episode using this show. That got 238 likes. And again, common theme, but not just in this particular batch of comments. I get that on my channel all the time. When is South Park going to do another send-up again? Well, my fingers are crossed. Next up, Not So Natural Life. The weird thing is she acts like she's been fancy her whole life. She was a C-rated actor at best, from a regular family, and now she's acting like she's been a fancy royal her whole life, even though she hated being a royal. Whole thing is confusing. 711 likes. Yes, Well, that does seem to be what this new cooking show is about. Look at me. I'm so freaking royal. Yeah, if she was so in love with that life, why did she walk away from it? So, good question, not so natural life. Next up, Larushka 1. Netflix, why are you deleting comments? We have eyes. We can see them vanishing. Stop trying to game the numbers. This show is a disaster and you know it. Let the public speak without censorship. That got 418 likes. Now, I have to say this is not the only comment I saw to this same general effect, suggesting that Netflix had been deleting comments. And although I have no desire to defend Netflix, I really need to throw this out. Very often, the YouTube bots will go through the comment sections and delete comments that the bots and the algorithms feel are inappropriate. Very often, the people in charge of the channel have 1, no knowledge, 2, no control, and 3, no ability to set that right, especially if the comments in some way violate YouTube's policies on appropriate comments. So this may not be Netflix. This could just be YouTube algorithms, and not having seen the deleted comments myself, I can't possibly say that they might not have violated one of YouTube's rules that are just out there for all of us. We need to observe the rules. It's possible the comments violated those rules. So yes, I ended up defending Netflix, even though it sticks in my craw to do it. Next up, 4KS Leslie. And I'm going to bet that that is for Kansas Leslie. All the views are from people coming back to read the comments. Priceless. 154 likes. Yes, it is entirely possible that many of the views, which is in the millions, that this trailer has received are coming from people who are not watching the trailer. They are just combing through the comments section for the juicy ones and to get a laugh. Next up, Cheez-Its W3272. This truly is a magic moment. The viewers have found their voice. 147 likes. And I think that one speaks for itself, so let's just go on to the next. Tiger Magda. Well played, Netflix. Not the show, of course, but the open comment section. And that got over 3,300 likes. So yes, I would have to say Netflix is redeeming itself to at least some extent by allowing the public to express themselves on this trailer. And frankly, it's nutmeg in general as well as the trailer. Next up, Giada9303, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Netflix, please keep this comment section open. Kindly do not fire anyone according to Meghan's demands. It's not fair to the workers. Also, please give other musicians, conductor, singers, etc. the opportunities to work for Netflix. Thank you for your consideration. That got 812 likes. That one took a tangent that I'm not really clear about. I do not know in what way Netflix has been limiting musicians, conductors, or singers. And I'm not sure how that relates to nutmeg. But hey, a lot of people liked this comment. 812 likes means a lot of people liked it. And certainly it is a legitimate it's a legitimate request from a viewer. So, next up, Clee 2598. Just think if Meghan Markle was kind, how different these comments would be. She's reaping what she has sown. The likes on this are 54, and I double-checked that, which I think is probably in error because I do not see how it could have made the top 25, which is determined by the popularity of the comments. Nevertheless, it is in there, and so I am sharing it with you. And I do think that is a really insightful comment. The backlash against Nutmeg is something that she has earned. This is not something people are just doing out of blind hatred or trolling or jealousy or whatever it is that the Sugars think it is. It is legitimate outrage about her behavior. So thank you, Clee2598, for putting that in perspective. And this is our final comment. And this is, by the way, one of the reasons I decided to go to 25 and not stop at 20. This is India-tastic, giving a voice to the voiceless, like polo players and rich housewives. And that one got 886 likes. And yes, it just ends on a wonderful note calling out Nutmeg's hypocrisy. So that is the comment, the top 25 comments on Netflix. And this is their YouTube channel. I will have a link to it in the video notes. Yeah, I think it's worthwhile looking at this because this is what the people think. And as I said before, there could very well have been pro-Nutmeg comments in this batch. I was determined to take the comments in order of popularity down. I thought I was going to stop at 20, but as I say, 25, because I really felt it was appropriate to end on that final comment. But if there had been comments that flattered Nutmeg, they would have been in this video as well. Again, a link to the video is in the video notes. Check for yourself. It's not as if there were any favorable comments there that I deleted. This is the voice of the people. And the great thing is they are directing it at the one entity out there that is still treating Nutmeg like she is somebody, and that's Netflix, because everybody else has already kicked her to the curb. And who knows, maybe this will change Netflix's mind when they see what the rank and file of their subscribers are thinking. All right, that is what I have for you today. We are going to take a look at a slideshow on the way out, and I hope to see you next time. In the meanwhile, have a terrific day.